And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big Sean McCarthy.
All right, here we go. It is the Weighing In podcast. We are here to talk about the things that are going on in the world of MMA, sometimes boxing and sometimes just whatever the hell we feel like. It is Josh the Punk Thompson and me, John McCarthy, with Podcast Dave on the controls, doing all the behind-the-scene work and doing a fantastic job. And Josh, that shirt, just fantastic, brother.
We just got back from Florida, baby. This is like that Miami Vice colors and stuff. I love it. This
Don
is old
Johnson,
school.
man.
Yeah, this is a throwback. I love this style shirt. You were making fun of me, of course, because it's got a little bit too much pink in there, I think, for your blood. But I love it because we were at the fights in Hollywood, and there was a black light in the back area there, and it lights up in the black light, pops really. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna pick me up one of those. So I grabbed one real quick from the Bellator booth over there, and I think they're still available on the Bellator.com site as well. So check them out if you guys like it. I like this. This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that one right there, because it shines under a black light, would be the exact reason I would not be wearing that someday.
Well, like your forehead shines pretty well, so it's okay.
Yeah, my forehead's perfectly that. Not a wrinkle on it, dude.
Not a wrinkle on it?
Not
until
one.
You talk? Until you
one.
move your eyebrows?
No, not one wrinkle. There's like 12.
12. Not one, but 12. Excuse me. All right, well, hey, before we get started, you guys, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Look, I know I say this all the time in the beginning of the show, but let's try to just share our knowledge and share our page to everybody out there. So hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell so you guys know when we drop our shows. But let's get our show out there so you guys can repost us, retweet us, whatever it is that is out there, or just copy the link down there and also send it out on your social media. We'd really appreciate it. Help us grow our show, man. We've been doing pretty well, and we love doing this, so let's just keep bringing it to you. John, what are we going to talk about? We got the UFC fight coming up here soon, right?
There is UFC Fight Night coming up. Miesha Tate, one of your favorites, coming back for her second fight after retirement.
I don't know if she's one of my favorites. She might be my favorite.
Ooh,
she might be my favorite.
Might be your favorite against Caitlin Vieira. That's a tough go, but they're both very good on the ground. And the one thing that I think, if you're looking at Vieira's last fight, I think it was her last fight. It might have been one before. She had the loss against Kunitskaya, where she was taking her down, being in the top position, and Kunitskaya was actually doing the better work from underneath and got the win. And she better not be in that position with Miesha, because Miesha is very good with her submission. She's very good with her striking, even off of her back. So she can find herself in the same spot. I hope she's learned from that one fight and fixed some of the things that she was doing. She's a good fighter, and she's tough as hell, but so is Miesha. So it's a great matchup. It's a good main card fight.
Yeah. Dave, can you pull up Miesha's Instagram? Dave's going to be inserting some pictures today. I mean, she's 35, maybe 36 now. She's 35 years old, and she is ripped. Look at that. Like, when she was champ, she didn't look like that. And I know we talked about this, I think, a little bit before her last fight. But she has done a great job of making sure that she's taking this extremely. Look how lean her legs are.
No, her legs aren't lean. Her legs are jacked.
Yeah,
she got quads.
She looks
good.
She was never like that when she was fighting when she was younger.
No, she was never that ripped.
This is what I want to remind people, and maybe I'm going to toot my own horn here a little bit. People gave me a lot of flack when I did Joe Rogan's show, and I said that women don't hit their prime until like 34, 35, 36, like that. And I got a lot of flack for that. I'm sorry. Dave, you got to take that down. I'm sorry, but
that's a good one to put it right there, Dave.
You know what I mean? Like, she is lean. She has... I mean, I understand that you take it serious, that she's been taking it serious. She's always taking it serious. But I don't know. I have this belief that I feel like females don't seem to find their groove in their physical peak until like 34, 35, 36. And they just, I can't without being offensive.
You need
just
to
mature.
stop.
I know they just mature though. Like, look, even her facial structure though, like her face is leaned out. Everything is leaned out. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like women that are in there, I've seen a lot of beautiful women saying they're 24, 26, 27, but then you see them again later on at 34, 35, and they don't, like, I don't want to say baby fat, but they have like their facial structure seems like it has leaned out. They have done, I don't know, they just look like they have matured into their body or into their everything else. So she has done.
You need to
done
just
a lot of hard work.
stop.
I get
Stop.
it. I get it.
It's not working. What you really need to say is
I was patting myself on my back.
After having 2 babies,
Yes.
she is not gaining any fans from women out there who use that as, well, I had 2 kids. She looks better than ever. I mean, she's in that position where she has really jumped on her workout program, her nutrition program, and you're seeing the results. And we'll see if those results pay off in the cage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that she's always been pretty strong for her size. She lacked a little bit in speed, which we've talked about, but I feel like with her last fight, she looked like she was the same speed she was before she left, or a little bit faster.
She actually looked faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think also too, maybe just time away from the sport.
Could be.
Got her to rejuvenate herself. Just like, okay, look, she was working for one. She was living in Singapore. That whole feeling, and then coming back to Vegas and then being around everyone that she knows and getting back into training with the young and up and coming, females that are there, probably just rejuvenate her a little bit. Like, okay, you know what? I'm training with these girls and I'm doing just fine with them. And I know it's not a fight, but I'm in the gym doing just fine. I have just had, a second baby. All I do is get in shape. I think she might. I remember when I said people thought I was crazy that she might be able to make a title run. I mean, we're going to find out this weekend if she can get it done. But she's got a little bit left in her, I think. Let me look at her. That was my point, John. Look at her body in the Sherdog picture, and then look at her body, at the and that was UFC 200 when she was already the champ. Yeah. And then look at her body now. I mean, it's just completely different.
Yeah. But that's what proper nutrition and working out like a bandit will do for you. You're going to get that way. And she's putting in the time. It's time and effort.
She's a stud. She's a stud for sure. She's got a great work ethic and she's a stud. But can you pull up the brackets? Oh, not the brackets. Sorry, the rankings. I say brackets. Sorry, Dave started pulling up pictures. I started losing my train of thought.
Should be in the 135.
Yeah.
She's mumbling.
Already at 8.
Kaylin, she's already at 8. I think she beats Aspen Ladd. I don't know if she'd fight Juliana Pena because I think they trained together for a while when they were up in Washington. Maybe she would. She
was Juliana's coach for Tough.
Yeah. Juliana's fighting for the title next, correct?
Yep, against Amanda.
Yeah. Yep. So if you put her up in that mix, I think it'd be probably next would be either Aspen Ladd or Irene Aldana, correct? To get her to jump the line. Who do you think?
I would think that Kunitskaya would be the one that would be,
next?
Jumping up there. If you're getting into Pena and Aldana, she's already, let's just be honest. The rematch to make is the Holly Holm. She beat Holly. Now if you go back and you watch the fight, from what I remember, it was, she lost the first round. She won the second round. And I think she won at 10-8 when it was.
Yeah, that surprised me when you told me that a while back. That surprised me.
No, she did. She had, she was doing good work. She got, position on Holly, kept advancing her position, got to her back. She deserved a 10-8 in that round, but then Holly won the third and the fourth, and Miesha had to go out there and finish her, and she did. But can she do it again? I don't know. But I'm sure that Holly would like to get that one back. And so you look and you say, you want to jump up in the ranks? There's your perfect fight. It's a perfect rematch. It won her the belt, and I'm sure Holly would really like that rematch.
Yeah, the only one that I think in that ranking system that I'm looking at that I'd like to keep her away from would be Jermaine. just the physical strength.
Yeah, but if she got Jermaine to the ground, she'd have a chance in that fight.
Yeah, she'd have a really good chance if she got her to the ground. That's a tough one. Because Jermaine, Miesha, when she's taking shots, she's not the same fighter trying to get the takedown. No. You know, we saw that when she lost to Nunes. So when she starts taking shots, she starts to wilt a little bit in terms of no one likes to get hit, but she doesn't handle the damage as well as as somebody like Jermaine. Jermaine, she'll take a shot to give a shot, but Jermaine also can't hang with her on the ground.
No,
but she's gonna have a hard time getting her down. I think Miesha will have a hard time getting her down. I'm just looking in terms of who we can get there to jump the line. I was thinking if she gave her the next one be Aspen Ladd, then after that, kind of see where Holly and Aldana and where Juliana ends up after, and then fight one more to get to the title shot.
You got her fighting a lot, man.
Yeah, I know, but hey.
I think the first thing she's got to do is get past
win.
Vieira. There you go. You got to get past Vieira. And that's not going to be an easy thing because on the ground, they match up very well.
Well, it should be fun. I guess we will see.
We will. Michael Chiesa takes on Sean Brady. Now, that's a good matchup.
Yes.
You talk about, on the ground, they match up very well. Mike does things a little bit different. He's got longer levers. His the way he goes about setting up his, taking in the back and how he does certain things, he's slick. But Brady, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's damn good. He is a hell of a ground specialist, and he's got good striking. He's very quick and explosive in the stand-up. Mm-hmm. So that's where Mike's got to be careful in that stand-up range. He's got to be very careful of what happens. He's got the length on him by far, but power-wise, Brady's got it. I think speed-wise, Brady's got it. So that's going to be an interesting fight.
It's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough fight for both of them.
Yep.
Brady, I think, has got a little bit more of the punching power. He's got the better wrestling in terms of stuff and takedowns. He's just as good as Chiesa on the ground. The longer levers are going to play a factor. Chiesa, like his stand-up, he needs to believe in his stand-up. Who did he fight last time?
Well, last time he fought Vicente Luque.
Yeah, but remember with Vicente Luque, he was able to touch Vicente Luque. He just didn't believe in it, and he kept running away and made himself tired.
Well, the thing, if you were going to be impressed by Chiesa, it was the Neil Magny fight, in my opinion, because he dominated that fight, and Magny has been great on the ground and done good stuff. For the most part, Chiesa dominated that fight, so that's what you got to look at and say, man, when he's on, he's slick and he's tough to beat. But Brady's 14-0, and that O is there for a reason. He's damn good.
I guess we're gonna find out how good he is. That's gonna put him right in that mix. Pull up the rankings. That's gonna put him right in that mix. Because Chiesa's what, 6? I think Chiesa's 6, 7,
not
5?
sure.
6, yeah.
Yeah, he's 6. Yeah, and Brady's what?
Brady's all the way down at 14.
Man, he's jumping a line right there. He's jumping.
Hey, that's what you do. That's the way to do it. You're gonna
that's
do
what
it.
You want.
He'll
be ranked ahead of
Normally it's the guy like Chiesa that says, why am I going to do that fight? But I do think part of it is that record, 14-0. Let me put a blemish on that mark. Let me put a mark on that.
Well, it's not even so much that, but as well as I know, when the promotions start talking about a guy who's undefeated, they start making a little bit more of a push for that guy.
Yep.
So once you have a loss, sure, you're still marketable, but you're not as marketable if you have the 0 in front of your name.
That's it.
But I really believe, after looking at the rest of the card, I really believe that this fight will steal the show. It should steal the show.
Yeah,
and the two of them fight it. Two of them, they fight at a fucking pretty fast pace.
Yeah.
So this should be a fun fight. What else is on there?
You got Ronnie Yahya, the Yahya man, going against, I hate saying it, Kyung Ho Kang.
I can't believe he is still fighting.
Neither can I.
Yeah. Johnny Yahya, I can't believe he's still fighting. He's been around forever.
He's Velcro. If he hits the ground, he's Velcro. You can't get rid of him. He moves to where he wants, and he gets the submission. He's just damn good, but his stand-up has gotten better. It's just never going to be great. His grappling overshines it by far, and so everyone who's going to fight him? What's the whole thing? Keep him on his feet, and he's a guy, same as what you were talking, if he starts getting touched, the takedowns start to look a lot worse. They start to get a lot slower, and things start going downhill as far as him getting the fight to the ground. So he's got to have some success in the beginning of that fight. But the guy he's fighting in Kang, man, he's been good in the UFC. He's only got a couple losses, a lot of wins, and he's tough. But again, it's the bantamweights, man. Bantamweights are tough.
Yanni, they're everywhere.
Bantamweights are tough.
Man,
best
division
in the sport right now.
Definitely. Yeah. Joanne Wood, who used to be formerly known as Joanne
Calderwood,
has changed her name.
Congratulations, Joanne and John Wood, getting married. Crazy kids.
Yes. It's just podcast Dave was talking about how he just got rid of the Calder. Yeah, now you just have the Wood. He's got the Wood. And then Talia Santos.
Again, you take a look at the record.
Yeah.
Talia's 18-1.
She's good. She's
really good. And she's had a couple of decisions. She had Roxanne Modafferi last, right? And you look and you go, she kind of tooled Roxanne a little bit, but not when I say tool, it's just, in the stand-up, she's just much sharper. And Joanne, she's good in the stand-up. That's where she really made her mark. Her ground has gotten much better, but in this fight, she's got to be aggressive. She's got to go after her. She cannot lay back like she does some of the time and kind of wait. She's got to be aggressive in it. You got to lead the dance. You got to be the person putting her on her back foot. If she puts her on her back foot and she's able to get, she's got good kicks. She hides them well. She's got a good jab. Joanne's got everything. She's a good fighter. It's just if someone starts to press her, she ends up playing into their game, and that usually doesn't work well for her. So we'll see what happens with this one.
Yeah, Sonnen is going to walk her down, and she's so much faster, though, than Calderwood. She may not be able to get in terms of what was that smirk, John? What was that?
I was trying to be
it's the speed.
Really nice. Yeah, it is speed.
Yeah, I know, it's the speed. The speed is going to be a factor, and that's the biggest thing. And then Sonnen's going to be able to get in and get out and throw again, before Calderwood can react. So she's going to have to stay long with maybe that push kick, keep the long-range jab, keep her at bay. But if she misses, she can look to counter off of that. Yeah. So it really just comes down to she's going to have, like you said, she has to dictate the dance. She's going to have to lead the dance if she wants this to work, but she can't afford to be pushed backwards. Wait a second. You just got married and then now you're fighting this week?
Hey, why not? Got to pay for that honeymoon, man.
Yeah, but who's gonna get married during? What happens if she would have got a black eye in training? Now you're gonna be at your wedding photos with black eye. Come on,
she got married already.
What's that?
She got married already.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you don't think you get punched in the face at training?
Oh, that's
Dave?
what you mean?
Yes,
no,
that's what I meant.
Dave has never trained, so he's never gotten punched in the face.
This is true.
So he wouldn't know those things, but that's okay.
Yeah, I would love to.
Because we're going to put Dave in the Wimp to Warrior program, and he's going to have
Yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be fun.
Hey, John, I've trained before. I've trained to work. I've trained to sports arenas. I've taken trains many places in my lifetime. Okay?
Very good. I'm glad you've taken trains, Dave. That's very nice of you. I'm glad. Do you like trains, Dave?
It depends on the day of the week.
Oh, man. This is great. Yanez. Sorry. Yanez versus Davy Grant.
I like Davy Grant. He's a handful, man. He's tough as hell, and he comes after you. He's pretty good everywhere. Obviously, Yanez has got the better record and everything, but I like Davy Grant in the fight. I just like I like his, style and stuff. I know he lost his last fight, but it was close, and it was a tough fight. So I don't know. I think obviously Adrian Yanez can win it. He's good. It's just good. Something about Davey always tends to pull things out. He tends to, outgut his opponent. And his last one was against Chito Vera. So that was a tough fight. They both threw down and they both went after it. And he got the decision over him. But David Grant, he's the real deal. He's tough.
Yeah. Is there any other fights on this card that interest you? Look, it's a fight night, so we try to talk about the ones that most people want to see. But what other fights on here? Is there anything else?
You got first. I'm sorry, no, Loma Lukaby. Is that how you Luke Bone me? I think Loma Lukbonmi. Yeah, that's her. She is fun to watch. She is great Thai boxing. She's kind of learned how to keep herself on her feet. She's fun to watch. I just enjoy her. She comes down.
Where's this at?
She bangs hard. Her kicks are fast and hard.
Is it her?
This one?
Her? Is it?
No.
Which one?
Wait, who are you talking about, John?
Oh, well, I thought Loma was on that card.
No.
Did she get taken off? She must have gotten taken off then.
Must have got taken off, yeah. And remember, we found out last week that Sherdog and Topology are up to date, where UFC website's not. So this is
damn. I thought she was fighting Godinez. So who's Godinez fighting?
She's
fighting. Oh yeah, no, that's Loma.
Oh,
that's her.
You never said a single word that sounded like any of those.
That's because I go by the name that I know of her. There you go, Loma.
Okay. I've seen her fight. She's the one that just walks you down. Does
and throws killer kicks and everything.
Yeah, who was her? She has a great push kick, a tip kick.
Oh,
who was her last fight?
Last fight was Sam Hughes, who's also on this card.
Who's also on the card? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching her fight. She's got good foot sweeps as well.
Oh,
so when
she's
you get
good.
Into the clinch, she foot sweeps.
Yep.
I didn't really see a whole lot of her on the ground, so I can't imagine it's all that great since she's majority Thai. But I saw a couple times where she did get to the top position. She looked like she had some nasty ground and pound, but just enough to get out of the guard.
Yeah, she could get caught down there. She's not, she's definitely not, someone that should stay on the ground for long. If you've hurt your opponent, but on the feet, she's fun to watch. Great technique.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up this fight night card, and then we're going to jump into some news, and then we'll probably do some Q&A, a little bit of fan questions for you guys as well. But, that's the only card this week because we got Thanksgiving next week, so I don't think there's a card the following week, which is Thanksgiving.
Nothing for nobody.
So you guys are going to need a lot of us rambling on either fan questions or Q&A or whatever else we decide to do.
Ooh,
we're going to do some fun stuff. So we're going to do a lot of fun stuff during this holiday time because there's not a lot of action going on. And so I know there's a big pay-per-view for the UFC, and then Bellator has their last fight, which is stacked card because they got to cram everybody in there that didn't get fights, that are under contract, that need to get fights. So that December 3rd card is stacked. I'm like, okay. All right. Well, let's see. What do you got for us there, Dave?
Yep. The first story is this recent beef that happened on Twitter. Normally we don't talk about these, but it's obviously quite a funny one more than anything, where Sonnen came out and said that Conor is becoming a little rich weirdo.
Can you click on that? Chael's Instagram, and what does it say? Can we hear it?
Click on what, sorry? You want to hear the video?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I'll get it.
Because we're allowed to play his social media. Yeah. It's public.
Here you go. What did you make of Conor video before we get into what's next for Max? Conor is on the verge of being a little rich weirdo. And it's the last thing I wanted for him. But if you mark out for your own gimmick to this extent, he's posted things and he's deleted them. I mean, I got to give the troll effort 100%. As a former troll myself, I get it.
As a former troll.
As a former troll?
He's still trolling, buddy.
You're doing something well, but in all fairness, Conor's not going to step in there with Max any more than he was going to step in with the guy last week, the week before that, or whoever he pulls out of his hat for next week. He's got to heal himself. There's talk of Dustin Poirier, who's already smashed him twice. I mean, in all fairness, Conor is still a big draw, but he's really working against himself. He is being a weirdo. Is this what he wants as his identity? A guy that's walking around with his shirt off, screaming at a television set? I mean, come on. In all fairness, when you were 22 years old, that was one thing. But as a husband and a father, you're a little bit of a dork.
Ooh.
Ooh, going hard to paint there, buddy.
Hard to paint for Chael, man.
So Conor comes back and says,
you gotta love Chael though, right? Like he just has no boundaries. He just doesn't care, and I love it because he just speaks his mind. And that's probably why he's worked with every single MMA organization there is.
Everyone.
You know? And at the same time, that guy, he's a stud.
Look at Connor comes back with, says the little broke weirdo. I can tell you right now, Chael is not broke.
No.
Nope, not at all.
Don't let the way he dresses fool you.
Yes.
This young man, this man is not broke, by the way.
I think Connor means by comparison.
Well,
yeah, but still. I'm sorry, but you know how many people would love to have as much money as Chael does? Like, that's insane. I mean, it's when you're talking fighters that have been successful, he works, like I said, he used to work for UFC, worked for ESPN. Was it ESPN? ESPN?
Well, no, he worked for UFC and UFC Fox with UFC Tonight.
Yeah.
And that kind of went away. Then he went with Bellator, and he worked with Bellator. And then he went to ESPN from there. So being with ESPN, that was before the UFC signed with ESPN. And then as the UFC signed there, then he's there. And they like him, so they keep him. And then he actually took Kenny Florian's spot for a show with the PFL. I mean, he's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's the Chael hour.
Yeah, he finds a way to get in there and do it. He does a good job. I mean, like, you know, you got to cipher through some of the bullshit here and there, but he knows that. And it's great. I mean, he was a guy. Let me tell you guys this story. We were doing some promo videos, and he was the guy. He went before me. And it was like one of the first times I'd ever done one of the promo videos leading up. It was for the the John Fitch and Roy McDonald fight. They were both in the semifinals to get to the finals in the welterweight Bellator World Grand Prix. He goes first. He talks about John Fitch. This guy has me believing for a split second, but I'm easily convinced. Like, ask John. People can convince me with just like a couple words. I believe in people. I want to believe what they're saying. And he legit was talking about how John Fitch, he could compare him to Babe Ruth, and like Babe Ruth, John Fitch calls his shots. He gets in that cage, he points out in the field, and Chael's standing in front of the camera, like literally pointing to the field, like he out there to left center field or whatever, and pointing to the camera. And he's saying all this, like, John tells you, I'm going to take you down, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Like how Babe Ruth called his shot. He pointed out there, and bam, the ball was gone. And I'm just thinking to myself, you guys want me to follow this? Like, I'm supposed to
hold it. I got to say, that's not the one that got you bad. The one that got you bad was the James Gallagher one. Because you were sitting there because I was there, right? And Chael, they say, Chael, you ready? You're going to talk about James Gallagher, and I can't remember who he was fighting at the time. You can talk about James Gallagher. He says, okay, no problem. And he goes, who's James Gallagher?
Yes.
Hold it. He does. He goes, who's James Gallagher? Right. Yeah. We go, he fights out of SBG in Ireland. He's like the little kind of featherweight. I think it was a featherweight at the time. I said he's like, he kind of mimics Conor McGregor stuff. He goes, oh, yeah, red hair. Okay, I got it. All right, ready to go. And he starts off, and the first thing he says is, so I'm sitting in my house, and I get this text, and it's Conor McGregor, and he's telling me, Chael, you have got to see this guy named James Gallagher. He's fantastic on the ground. He does this. He does that. I'm telling you, I started looking at tape, and sure enough, man, this kid is fantastic. And he starts, bumping him up, and you looked over at me like, he got a text from Conor McGregor about James Gallagher, and I go, no, he's lying, man.
Oh shit!
It's like, I love him.
It's true, man. Like, I don't want to tell you how many times I've been at the desk with him, and he'd be like, "Hey," because like you fighters, as we're up there, okay, we'll say, "Hey, Josh, you talk about this fighter," Chael, you talk about this fighter. And then Chael will turn to me and go like, can we switch? And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. He's like, I don't know who the other guy is. I feel like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I know him, but but
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't know really what to say. And I'm like, Chael, you're at a loss for words. He's like, he's great, man.
He's never at a loss for words.
No, he's never. But you can tell. So, anyways, go ahead. So then Conor comes back and says, yes, can't bait the whale, lads, no chance. And so, what Conor says, or not Conor, but Chael says what?
Chael says, it's not too late to stay off my radar. Just put down the shot glass of awful bottom shelf whiskey. Turn off your phone and back out of the big boy saloon nice and slow. Conor comes back and says, just set up the tripod in the corner of your box room and tell your two views the promo code for the window sheen.
That's good.
Good.
That was
Damn
pretty good.
Conor McGregor, score one on that one. I like that one.
I thought I was +1 for Chael, and then Conor came back with the +1 for himself. They're tied up again, back to 1-1 though.
Chael says, and leave a nice heartfelt apology on the table as you exit. And Conor says, a nice tip. So it seemed like it finished on a fairly...
I think they're just having fun with each other. Oh, man. Because, like, Chael's the kind of guy that, like, if he knows you're a hot topic, he'll bring you up at any moment, any chance he gets.
Absolutely.
And so this is one of those things where, he brought it up. He's always been very positive about Conor. I mean, majority of people have. And even when he was doing his horrible shit, majority of people would try to be nice, about him. Because they're like, okay, well, I just continue to be nice. Maybe he'll be nice to me back. But that's just not how it works. So Chael is the guy that he just likes to bring him up quite a bit. But this is one of those, I think a lot of people will have to agree. It's getting a little weird right now, John. It's getting a little weird. He's probably getting, I think Conor's getting stir crazy.
I think he wants to get back into fighting, and he's got he's got his physical therapy. He's what it's like when you get, a metal plate, a metal rod put in you. It's going to take a while, man. It is not an easy thing. It's like, everyone's got their, now he's going to kick so much harder. No. Now he's going to be in pain when he kicks someone and he lands it exactly where he wants it to land. It's still going to hurt. And he's going to feel it. And it's going to make it to where he doesn't want to throw it as much. So he's got to build up that, that callus on it or whatever you want to say. He's got to get used to it. It's going to take a while. I will say, dude, he looks freaking huge right now.
Yeah.
He's obviously been lifting weights a lot and stuff, but man, he's jacked right now. So it's not, you can tell he's working out. I don't think he's working out to be, a fighter on his, comeback for his next fight, but he's obviously working out.
Yeah, he's not someone that's been known for his conditioning and his cardio, like into those 4th and 5th rounds. He slows down quite a bit after round 2. And since that being the case, I don't know how much size he should be putting on.
Well,
like the more size, the more oxygen it takes to feed those muscles. So I mean, look, there's no doubt he's always had a little bit of pop, but the best he ever looked was against Eddie Alvarez. And the reason why he looked good was he was I know it was early too in the fight, but he had a lot of bounce in his step. He was sticking and moving. He was flowing, and basically flowing like water. And that's what made him look good. And that's why he was hard to hit. He's gotten to the size now where it's like, you can tell it will take a lot out of him to move around the way he was moving in that fight, because he's carrying so much muscle. So there's a lot to be talked about. I think if you're his nutritionist or you're his coaches or whatever it is, you better get it together, my man. If you plan on making a run, trying to get back and make a title run, I don't see it ever happening again. He lacks too many areas. When he was younger, the athleticism, the speed, he was really, really dedicated. There was no outside distractions. His whole goal was to be the best.
Yep.
You could tell by the way he performed. That shit ain't around no more. He ain't that guy.
Well,
so,
all right, let's tell another story, because you sat there with me and Conor's, manager in Audiatar when we talked to him about it. I said, man, he's got to get back to who he was, not what he's doing now. All the workouts now and being on the bike, in Dubai. Look, all that's great. I'm not saying he's not working out. It's not the same. It's not all the hours that he put into practice. It's not all the training that he did when he wasn't that guy and he was trying to become that guy. That's when he got to that level. And it only takes a little bit of difference for it to tail off. And we've seen in his last fight. I think this one was before the second fight with, third fight with Poirier.
yeah.
After he had lost the second one, I said, he didn't look anything like the guy that we all got used to. He looked like a guy trying to box in an MMA match. I said, threw very few kicks. I said, it's just not him. I go, he can't be that guy. And so, it's going to take a while. It's going to take something, to get it to where, he either says, I'm going to go back to exactly what I was doing and work in that same manner. And he can get back. Look, He's fast. He is accurate. He's one of the best fighters I've seen at understanding distance and controlling that distance and being able to make his opponent pay when they on the counters and stuff the way he does. It's when you talk about, that Eddie Alvarez fight, he could have gone 10 rounds like that because he was in control of it. He was in control of the pace. He was in control of everything that was happening out there. He was not breathing hard. That's the kind of fight that he can go a long ways. It's when guys are able to press him and push him that he can't control that pace. It's a little bit different animal then. Mm-hmm. So, everything's about who you're fighting and how they, what their game plan is against you. But it's there are fights out there for him. There are fights that you look and you go. I saw him and Masvidal kind of going at each other a little bit too, and I was like, that would be good. I'm sorry, I think he should. Come on, that would be fun.
Masvidal would murder him. He wouldn't even
both
be
fight
close.
at 170 at times. Both of them have been 155 also.
No, Masvidal would murder him. No, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Dustin Poirier.
You don't think Masvidal would want that fight? Of course he would.
Of course he would. Of course he would. But I mean, I honestly believe that whole top 10 of 170 pounds just mopped the floor with him. I mean, you think about him with Michael Chiesa. You think about him with Sean Brady. Sean Brady's not even in the top 10. He's number 14. He would just destroy him. It wouldn't even be close. I can't. Can you pull up 170?
I don't. I mean, I am not agreeing with you on that at all.
Okay, go through 170.
Go ahead.
Colby Covington beats the brakes off of him. Gilbert Burns beats the brakes off him. Leon Edwards maybe would be the only one, but remember, let's not look. Leon Edwards wrestling, his jiu-jitsu has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, but okay, he's gonna be taking Conor down. No,
I think he will.
Bullshit.
I think
ain't happening.
Vicente Luque, you're telling me that?
Well, I didn't. Okay, I like Vicente
Luque. So now just because you like him, it's okay.
Hold it. No. I'm saying I like that matchup. I think Vicente Luque is a different beast. You're talking about.
So you're not putting any respect on Leon Edwards' name, then? You're like, nah.
Styles make fights, brother. He ain't taking Conor down, so it will be a fight on the feet. Not that Leon can't win that. He could win it, but so could Conor.
And Vicente Luque, he's going to take Conor down?
I actually think Vicente would try to take him down at times. Yeah.
Interesting. Stephen Thompson?
Weird fight. Weird fight.
I give it to Stephen. I think Stephen just the with the range. He's the Conor McGregor. And
you want to say Michael Chiesa? I think Conor beats Michael every time. The only way.
Chiesa takes him. He's
going to try to take him down. He's not an easy guy to take down.
I understand that.
And in the stand-up, he's going to be freaking smacking the dog shit out of Chiesa.
Okay, but
and
Chiesa
so the takedowns are going to be a lot harder.
Chiesa's also a lot bigger than him.
Chiesa used to fight 155 too.
I understand that.
Okay,
that,
so he's not. Yes, he's taller,
longer. All right,
he's taller.
I think he beats the brakes off of him.
I don't think so.
I think Masvidal starches him. Neil Magny's interesting, but the reach and stuff like that poses some threats because Neil's just going to keep coming forward all the way until Conor gets tired of backing up, fighting on his back foot. He will get tired against Neil Magny like everybody else does. He's going to get tired, So Bilal Muhammad,
good wrestler, could take him down.
Yeah, I think gets him down. Kazma,
I think Chimaev absolutely takes him down. He's got that level of wrestling.
Jeff Neal.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So Jeff.
I like Jeff Neal. He's got good hands. He ain't gonna beat him.
Okay. Jing Liang.
Well, are we gonna go all the way to 15 now? Are you kidding?
Well, I mean, I'm going to at least Sean Brady because you said that. I'm making sure Sean Brady can whoop that ass. That's why. Sean Brady can beat him.
Sean Brady better worry about whooping Michael Chiesa's ass.
I'm just saying, Sean Brady could beat him. Ponzinibbio is interesting because he can take a lot of damage, and he just keeps coming forward, and that body kick, and and he's a dog. But I'm saying I'm going all to Sean Brady because, yeah. Anyways, so 2, maybe 3 out of the 15 or 14 that I got to won't be able to beat him, or it'd make it for a 50-50 fight. You're not encouraging me, John. Here, this is not.
Look, you can think what you want. you're in that position of saying, okay, he's done. I don't think he's done. It all depends on what he does. He's still young. He's what, 32 years of age? Is he 32?
He's 30.
32, 33?
32, 33. How old is Connor?
Got to be 33.
33? Okay.
Wow.
But no, go back to the rankings.
He's in his prime, dude. It's all a matter of what he does.
Okay, his prime was when he was 28, 29. He lost that prime when he took years away from the game, 18 months or whatever. 2
I
years
agree
out
with
of the
that.
Game. He's gonna have to get back to that. It took a lifetime for him to get to that prime and that peak. And now he's gone for 2 years, and now he's dealing with an injury now another year. He ain't ever getting it back. He won't get it back until he's 35, 36. If that's the case, if he's dedicated like he was back then, it's gone. John, it's gone. Money has changed him in terms of he's got other focuses, not in terms of like, I don't know if he's always been the way he's been, but money has changed him in terms of he's got other things and other avenues to make money and other things to worry about. He'll never be the gym rat that he was. Never.
I would probably say you're right. He's not going to be that gym rat, and that's the difference. But if he did do that, yeah, he could go back and win against just about anybody that they put against him. I'm not saying
Give me the
everybody.
odds on what you think that is. Give me the odds if he did do that.
Odds of what?
Of him
being
ever
a
going
gym rat
back
again?
Of him ever being a gym rat and him ever actually getting back to another title shot.
30%.
Because if I go through, even if I go back to the, even if I
what
go
did I just
right
tell
now,
you?
I'm 30%.
I just told you. 30%.
If I go to 55,
that means
he
70%
barely beats a lot of
no.
those guys.
Oh my God.
He barely beats a lot of those guys.
Crazy.
John, Gregor Gillespie takes him down at will.
Gregor Gillespie, wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's say
I think he could take him down. Not a doubt about it. But he could also get fucking knocked out because he's just not good on his feet.
Okay.
So
how about,
you're talking.
no.
You picked up Gregor. Let's talk about this because you want to tell me that Gregor's better in the stand-up than
No.
Connor is in the grappling.
No.
It's not.
I say that. I know.
Just so
Okay.
Gregor could possibly take him down, but he's not going to be easy for him to take down, and he's going to get lit the fuck up on his feet.
Yeah. That's your opinion. Okay. So it's like,
Oh, really? So he's not going to get lit up on his feet. He's going to do well. He's going to do well.
It may just take him 2 seconds to get the takedown. Then he won't get lit up.
Shit.
So your argument can be void right there.
Look.
Now let's go here. Let's go to number 14. Let's go to Fazeev.
I want hold on. If you were gonna say Kevin Lee and Conor McGregor, who would you say wins that?
Kevin Lee or Conor McGregor? Which Kevin Lee?
There's only one of them.
The one that's current, the one at 170.
Yeah, you can take him at 155 or 170. I don't care, but he's got a knockout win over Gregor Gillespie. That's what can happen to Gregor.
Yeah, that was I don't want to say it was. I don't want to say it's nothing, but it's
no.
Those fights happen. Those fights
real.
happen.
It was real.
Okay, Khabib's a wrestler. He was able to drop Conor. What does that say? It happens. You can get clipped and knocked out by anybody.
I didn't say he couldn't. Did I say he couldn't get knocked out?
My point.
I guarantee you, he's not going to get knocked out by Gregor.
No, but he could get taken down and worked over.
I'm not saying he can, but I can guarantee you he's not going to get knocked out by Gregor.
This is the thing, John. This is my argument. Look, I understand where you're going with this, okay? Because Brendan Schaub tried to give me the same argument with Khabib and Conor. Okay, that's kind of where you're at right now. So it's
no.
John,
I said Khabib was going to beat Conor.
I got you, but you're trying to say I'm saying that Gregor Gillespie, if he presses him to the fence, if he makes him work, he is not the same Conor McGregor. Does not have the same speed. Does not have the same power as the fight goes on. And I'm telling you, Gregor Gillespie could make him tired. He will not be the same fighter because he out-wrestles people and he will get on top of him. He will dominate that top position. All he needs is one takedown at Conor McGregor. If it doesn't get up in that first round, he will not be the same fighter in the second and the third round.
Okay.
That's my point.
So
that was my argument.
So I'm not saying that, but you can't compare Gregor to Khabib. You can't.
Oh, I'm not.
You can't.
Okay,
because here's the big difference. Khabib is willing to walk through people's shots. Gregor's not.
I got you.
That's a huge difference.
I got you on that. But like if we go through, like I said, if we go through these, Rafael Fazeev, him standing with Conor, he would do it all day. I'm not saying he'd win.
He would.
He stands right in front of him. He'd do it all day.
Styles make fights.
Saryukin, he'd wrestle him to death. he'd be able to probably get him down. I don't know. Like, on the feet, he's okay.
So. He's
but
okay.
I think he might be able to get him down. Brad Riddle. You know, Diego Ferreira. Huh?
Stand-up guy.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, you have these guys that are in here. Dan Hooker, it really depends on which Dan shows up. You know, Dan's
No, it doesn't.
No, you think he beats Dan easily?
Yes, he beats Dan.
Okay, so let's say he beats Dan. I think does he beat Tony Ferguson?
Yeah. Tony's too slow now. Yeah,
This
Tony's
Tony?
too slow.
Okay, so he beats this Tony.
Now, the Tony does have the chance in that he's a zombie, and if he can put pressure and not get knocked out, Tony could win the fight. But
yeah. He can make him tired.
Yes,
he can make.
I agree.
He could fight him. Tony could fight him the same way he fought me. Just walk him down.
But
big
Tony
shots.
takes a lot of damage, man.
He does. Yes, he does. And then RDA. I mean, RDA is just getting older. I think he beats RDA. Michael Chandler. Depends. If Michael Chandler decides to fight him the way he fought Justin Gaethje, I think he loses. If Michael Chandler wrestles, I think he's got a good chance of winning.
Okay, so what Michael Chandler will show up?
The dumb one.
Okay. That's not honest. It's just the guy that'll sit there and go, all right, I'm gonna make everyone happy. It's like, don't make everyone happy. Make yourself a winner. You know,
he did a video. Did you see the video he did with his son?
No.
I think on the Monday or Tuesday after. Can you pull up Michael Chandler's Instagram? He did a video with his son. His son asked him what happened to his face because Chandler was wearing a face mask, like an ice face mask, one of those
cool
ice
pad?
ones. Yeah, cool pad.
This one right here.
There it is, right there. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
It's actually kind of cool. It might need subtitles, but
let's see.
I thought it was like a cool little moment between the two.
That's his son Hap.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the sound. I don't know on Instagram. Oh, there we go.
Unrecognizable.
Let me start that again.
What? I heard unrecognizable.
Made some really bad decisions in his last fight that resulted in his face being virtually unrecognizable. Therefore, to expedite the process of healing, I would like to wear this frozen mask so you, my son, may be able to see me more clearly very soon. I love you, son. I will see you at the top.
I thought it was
That's
great.
funny. That's great.
Someone said it to me, and they're like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "It was absolutely amazing."
It's great.
That's a cool thing. That's something cool.
And his son is looking at him like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah. Oh man, good stuff.
Made some poor choices. Yes, you did, but that's all right.
Yeah, not good. Overall, though, I mean, like, so you go back to the rankings, and then I say Chandler. It depends on which Chandler shows up. You put him in the rest of that mix. Those guys can beat him. I think the up and coming guys, coming up, like you said, Vaseev and those.
Why don't you just say it? You have decided to be a Conor hater. That's okay.
No, I haven't decided to be a Conor hater. John, I'm just telling you the truth. He will never get back in the gym dedicated enough to make another title run. They may push him to go ahead and get another title run because it's the UFC and he's the money man. I get it. Okay, they may push him to do that, but he'll never win another title. And
okay.
I don't even know if he'll get into the top 5 again. I mean, they may push him into there, but I don't think he's going to win to get in the top 5. It really depends. I mean, RDA, Tony Ferguson, they're kind of on their way out as they get older, 37, 38 years old. Chandler, I don't know how much longer he's going to be around. If he starts fighting smart, probably a while. If he doesn't, not long.
Not long.
Islam, Dariush, and Gaethje and Dustin, they're all right there. Everyone keeps telling me that Dustin's talking about retiring.
So you're telling me that Conor can't beat Dariush? See?
I don't know, man. Beneil's pace.
It's about styles, man.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It's and I love Beneil. It's not that I don't, but styles make fights, and you look at certain matchups, and you go, that's not a good matchup for him. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. But then also, I look at the flip side of that, and when I look at that, you know what it says? It says Beneil fights at a pace that Conor can never fight at. That guy fights at a wild, crazy pace.
He does. He brings the pressure. He brings the pressure. Yes.
Don't get me wrong. He's sloppy. I get
it.
Like he makes.
That's the
He
problem.
makes a lot of mistakes.
That's the problem.
But in that same breath when I'm speaking, telling you this, he if you get Conor going backwards, you get him fighting at a pace he's not comfortable with. He's not the same fighter either. I mean, look at kind of how sloppy he got with Nate by the 3rd and 4th round. I mean, they were both wobbled, like trying to keep their balance because they were tired. Beneil fights like that. He fights wild, like crazy, but it's a lot of pressure, a lot of cardio, a lot of energy exerted. And he mixes it up probably better than a majority of these guys on that list. He goes from striking to wrestling. He's got good submissions. He's one of the most well-rounded fighters in that weight class there. So I don't know. I mean, he can make it a dogfight, and Conor start to will as well. And like I said,
if Beneil got that fight, not a doubt in my mind, he would try to fight it just like he did the Ferguson fight, which I thought was smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take him down.
Yeah,
he's going to try to take him down. And we'll see if he gets him down there. Look, he's great on the ground. It's great pressure, and he can do some damage and stuff, but he's going to have to get him down. Yeah. Not an easy task. People do not give Conor enough credit for he does have pretty good defensive wrestling.
I think it goes in phases because like guys like Nate Diaz were able to take him down, but then like Khabib had a hard time with him.
Nate was not able to take him down. He got tired. He was exhausted. And I don't care who you are. When that happens, you're going down.
What do you think Dariush's going to fucking do to him? Fucking let him just walk around?
Different scenario. Totally different. Completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Dariush can wrestle a hell of a lot better than Nate fucking Diaz. That's what the difference is. What the fuck?
I tell you what, if the UFC wants Conor to be back up in the top 3, put him against Dariush.
Oof. All right, that's a slight to.
I like Beneil. It's a bad stylistic matchup in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, go to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code weighing in. If you guys use that little barcode right there, the QR code, that'll give you a little bit of extra spending cash. And with all the stuff in the sports coming up and everything to bet on, don't miss your chance to get that little extra money on your first initial buy-in. So go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code weighing in because we sent you, right? That's what you're hearing it right now. We sent you. So go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code weighing in. They're going to give you a little extra cash. You can bet on what's going on right now. Baseball's over, right? So the World Series is done. Now we've got fights. Of course, fights are all year round. And John and I have been helping out quite a bit for a lot of people to make a lot of money because we did some good work with the Glover Teixeira fight, especially with the in-between round betting, that type of system, and everything else that was available. We've been able to make some money for some people, especially these last couple fights. And I mean, because I've been, been on point lately. Anyways, but first, go to mybookie.ag. Use that little QR code right there. That give you some extra cash. Use that promo code, weighing in, and they're going to give you that extra cash. And guys, use it, man. We got football, playoffs. I mean, not playoffs coming up soon, but the season's starting to get a little nasty now. So everyone's getting injured. Everyone's coming back from injuries. There's a lot of good money to be made. So use that promo code weighing in at mybookie.ag.
Dana White says that he's waiting for Amanda Nunes to basically decide what she's going to do before he decides what he's going to do with the featherweight division. But it sounds like he has doubts that it will be in existence for the long haul.
Before you talk, John, I know what you're going to say. That's why I said before you talk. I have a quick question. What the fuck is Kayla Harrison doing at 155 in the PFL? What do you think? They're giving her an option to be at 55. She can make 45. So where does that leave this question that you just asked me, John? Go ahead, answer it for me. If she has a choice, look, John,
she has
take
a choice.
it away.
Yeah, Dana White's going to leave it to a manager to go, oh yeah, we're going to have 145. I think the reason Dana's looking at things is take a look at the last featherweight fight they just had, Felicia Spencer against Letson.
Oh.
It just wasn't it's not the kind of fight that you're just not finding those fighters. When you have the strawweights like Rose Namajunas and Wei Li going and all the people that are below her, then you got the flyweights with Valentina and stuff, action-packed fights that are really good. He's looking and he's saying, man, I don't have anyone to put against you. And he's right. He's being on. And so when he's saying, I'm going to leave it up to Amanda, he'll leave it up to Amanda to a certain degree. But, if you're Amanda, you're saying, absolutely, I want 145s. There's nobody that can challenge me, and I can weigh more. I feel better. I want the featherweight division open in the UFC, so I don't blame her.
Yeah, I mean, look at.
But I don't blame him
doing.
in saying, "No, we're not going to do it anymore."
No, I don't blame him at all. I actually think they should have shut it down a long time ago. And it's like, if you're her, just keep doing what Kayla Harrison doing. I'm going to stay at 55. I'm going to collect all this money.
Yep.
And eventually I'll go back down and defend my 35-pound title when I feel the need, if I need to, and then come back up to 45. Fight females that are not on my level. That's the only concern. Is like there are females there, but they're just not on her level.
But they're few and far between.
Yeah.
The ones that can actually challenge her, they're few and far between.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into the cross promotion stuff, but I'm going to say, if you're going to keep that,
there you go. You said
if you're going to keep that division, just have those 3 girls fight each other. That's
there
it.
you go. That's exactly.
Don't even like, if you're going to say, because then it doesn't really hurt anybody, because no one really, like, the weight class is the weight class. There's no one else to talk about. You might as well have the 3 do a round robin.
Exactly.
That's it. Let's just let it go. And I'm just like, and then at the end of that, let's just take a sabbatical from that weight class for another 2 years, and we'll come back and have other females fight at that weight class. Because right now, there's just no one. There's Kayla Harrison, there's Cyborg, and then there's Amanda Nunes. That's it. Yeah. That's all there is.
Do you think she's coming back down to bantamweight to so that she can kind of get in shape for the potential Valentina trilogy?
I don't know. I mean, Valentina keeps saying that she's going to fight Amanda again before she retires, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you. She's peaking right now, but I mean, it's getting to the point where she's easily beating everyone, that she's going to eventually start to just like kind of cruise through training and either get beat, or she just won't be the same fighter when she gets up to that weight class because she hasn't been challenged at all. The challenge is inside the cage against some of the top fighters. That's what gets you sharper. Well, she's already pretty much wiped out that whole division. Where's she at? I mean, so Chagagian, Murphy, Maya, Wood. I mean,
Maya gave her a good fight.
Yeah, she did. But was it a good fight in terms of it was a good fight because she just didn't fight well that night, or was it a good fight
could
that?
But it was. But you got to look
fight.
And say it was competitive. And so that's giving her a good fight. Whether was a bad day for Valentina, maybe, possibly, but it was competitive, and there was moments. Jennifer won. I know she won at least one round. I think maybe 2 on some scorecards. So,
well, we just talked about her last weekend, and she impressed me. And she's Andrea Lee. Now I know she's got a little ways to go, but I'm just saying, like. She's had 2 good wins that I've seen recently. Yeah. She looks good. So she seems to be on point with her striking. She seems to be on, she's putting things together real well. So that might be someone to keep an eye on, making a run. And then so is what's her name? Santos. So Talia, or whatever her name is Santos. She looks like if she gets a win this weekend, she might be able to make a little bit of a run.
That's the real question. So, she's got to get that win this weekend. She might do.
All right, next.
That's going to wrap up for news stories. We're going to do a handful of fan questions before we wrap up. So
all right, let's do it.
I'll take away with the first one. So first one comes from Evan, who says or asks, can a corner create codes for the fighter that are insults to the other fighter? For example, can Blachowicz' coach make Glover's make, in quotes, Glover Teixeira has a disco ball head, end quote, into a code to tell Yan to throw a certain technique? I assume that the corner insulting the opposing fighter is usually illegal, but is this a valid loophole?
No, it's not a valid loophole. You're going to sit there, that's my codes. Good. Your codes are going to get you disqualified from the fight, or it's going to get your corner really booted out of the damn area by the cage. So, look, I have, in fights, I have had corners removed for saying certain things. Okay. Don't want to do it, but that's what you'll do when they're doing things that, they're not in there to, be hit. And so to try to get someone's attention or to try to make them mad at them, can't do that. The corners are allowed to talk to their own fighter. you can't sit there and say, well, our code says that he's this. No, doesn't work that way. If that's what your code is, you screwed up, and you're going to end up either stop the talking completely or you'll be removed.
Interesting. That's the dumbest code situation I'd ever think of.
Yeah, that would be the dumbest code situation.
Stupid. Go ahead, next.
All right, the next question comes from Abayomi Maha, who asks, counter question to an answer from last week's fan questions. I know we didn't do one last week, but the last one he meant. Is Izzy Adesanya the guy who could be 3-weight world champ? I think he could. He was 2-2 going into the 5th with Jan and was winning the round until Jan got the takedowns, and he walks around light enough that he could easily make 170. What do you guys think?
No, I don't think he can. I think the 205s is a problem for him. He's got the length for it, but he doesn't have the frame as far as carrying. You know, he's got to carry another man's weight more in that situation. Just the pressure of it, you know. You take a look and, you know, you look at some of the guys in the light heavyweight. You know, the light heavyweight belt in the UFC has moved around quite a bit now. You know, you had John Jones having it, and he was the guy who had it forever. You know, now he moved up to heavyweight. So then, you know, Jan Blachowicz wins it in a match with, you know, Reyes, and he's the champ. He beats Adesanya. He then loses it to Glover, who's now the champ. So you've had a lot of actual movement in that weight class, but just the move up is not an easy move. You know, people think that it's easy to just, you can climb up if you're good. It's a huge weight difference. It's 20 pounds. That's big, because the guy going into that, you know, fight, if you're a 185 pounder and you normally walk around at, we'll say 210, you shouldn't be coming into that fight more than what you normally walk around at. If you're carrying extra weight, it's going to end up causing you problems. So you want to be, okay, I only have to lose 5 pounds. Great. And then you gain your 5 pounds back and you're at 210. Well, your opponent, he's at 225, 230. And that's a lot of weight difference for you to handle. It's a big difference, and weight makes a difference in a lot of areas. It makes a difference in sometimes just the damage that someone can put up with, more damage because they just have more body mass. You know, the ability to hit a little bit harder, heavier shots, the ability to take a better shot at times. You know, no one's punch proof and anyone can get knocked out, but you got to hit that perfect spot on a bigger guy more than you do on a guy that's not as big. So I just look at it. I think Adesanya is in the perfect weight class for him. He's fantastic there. I don't think he could be a 3-division champ.
Yeah, you have to remember, though, too, going to 70, it's 15 pounds. Going to 205, it's 20. So there's a difference. Like, for him to go down to 70, he'd be cutting. He wouldn't be the same fighter cutting 15 pounds. He wouldn't be the same fighter. Now, don't get me wrong. He could potentially beat them. I think there's a good chance he could beat him. But would he be the same fighter for 5 rounds if he had to go the distance? Someone like Kamaru Usman, he's tall. He's tall and long. You know, he seems really tall and long. I mean, like we saw him at the Bellator this last
about
weekend.
He's about 6 foot.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, 6'1", somewhere in there.
What? Where Adesanya's 6'4"?
Yeah. So him going down, though, he would be depleted. He wouldn't be the same fighter. Now, he could do it. Maybe he could win. But him going to 205, that's different because you're fighting someone who is 20 pounds heavier and obviously a lot more by fight time. You know what I mean? So you're going to put the weight on, but you also don't want to lose your speed. You don't want to use your mobility, all of those things, because those are going to play a factor on you staying away from the big guy. So that's real hard to do. I think in those upper weight classes, it's going to be a little bit harder to do. And unless you're going to have a talent like a John Jones. If you're going to do that, if John could have made 185, I could have seen him being the 3-division champion. If he could have cut down to 185, I don't think he could have made 185.
No way.
That's the thing. At 205 in heavyweight, I think all day long, I don't think he could have ever got to 85. But you would need a talent like that, though, to do it. And if you're going to see that, that's why I think it's so important to talk about Henry Cejudo. If you're going to see the 3-division champion, I think you're going to see it in the 125, 135, 145 pound weight class, or 135, 45, 55, kind of in that area there, because the jump isn't so much. It's only 10 pounds, you know? So a lot of these guys can just eat naturally. Just, keep their normal frames, do whatever it is they do in training, and maybe bulk up a little bit as they get to the upper weight class. But that's about it. I think like with Henry Cejudo, he's got a good chance because he can wrestle the dickens out of all these dudes, all of them. All right, next.
Next question from Dexter Watson. Question for both John and Josh. In boxing, corners are more likely to throw in a towel compared to MMA. Do you think that the have to win payout forces a camp to risk not throwing in the towel? And in parentheses, less paid fighter / camps betting on a KO or submission versus throwing in the towel?
Okay. Let's talk real quick about the half pay. I've always thought the half pay was bullshit. I think what I'm just being honest, and not even so much from a fighter's perspective, because fighters don't train. They shouldn't. They don't train less hard. They don't put as less effort out. They should always be putting as much effort out as they possibly can to win the fight. 50-50 is bullshit. It should be more of a 70-30, and I'm okay with that. I also believe this. If you're going to pay some, like with Coker a long time ago when I was Strikeforce, there was here's your purse, here's a little bit of a bonus, and here's a finishing bonus. So there was you had 3 purses you could have got. So it could have been, it was like, let's say I was making $200,000. I had like a $50,000 bonus for winning, and then I had another $50,000 bonus for finishing. So there was a lot at stake, if you're making that kind of money. There's a lot in terms of you can make this much, and then you can make this much to win, and then you can make this much more if you push yourself to get a finish. So it was a lot of incentive involved in every aspect. And I think that's kind of the way, if you're talking about how these contracts should go, I always kind of felt like it should have been more like that. A little bit heavier on the show money, because the camps are expensive now. I mean, like in terms of nutritionists, making sure you're getting you're a top athlete now. This sport has changed. When I had first started, I was eating top ramen and showing up to training, and going and having sushi and a soda. Yeah, sushi and a soda after training. Like that's what I would eat. And then I'd train in the evening. I'd go to Jack in the Box and get the chicken pita. That's what I would eat. Like there was no nutrition back then. It was you just ate whatever you could afford. Now it's like they're getting paid well, but things also cost money. If you want to keep up with all the other athletes, you got to hire a nutritionist. You got to hire someone that can look over you in your training. Training is a lot more intense now. You have a strength conditioning coach separate from your actual jiu-jitsu coach and your boxing coach or your wrestling coach, whatever it is. There's a bunch of little coaches that are involved. So those are the hard aspects of this fight, but of this argument with this question here, because the half 50-50 is a bunch of crap, but throwing in the towel should never reflect on what the fighter's making. So it doesn't matter what the fighter's making. It should never reflect that. Just throw it in. If someone's getting hurt, what the fuck you doing? Save their life.
When the person says that it seems to happen more in boxing, it does not. It really depends on who the coach is and how much confidence the coach has in themselves as a person. You'll see the guys like the Trevor Whitmans, the John Hackelmans, they throw in the towel. I've seen them do it multiple times because they know when their guy has given everything he give and there's nothing left. And why am I going to let my guy get beat on? So it really goes with the coach itself. And I think that there is some bit that, trainers do look and say, I didn't want to, possibly take money out of my fighter's pocket. There's a possibility. That's a really stupid excuse though, because what you're doing is if you allow your fighter to take excessive abuse in a fight, you're affecting his pay down the road because he'll never be the same fighter and he'll never make the same amount of money. So,
yeah, true. Next
question comes from Noah Weil. For both, name a fighter with the most star potential that you'd want to pull from the UFC and put in Bellator that could be a game changer for the company.
Ooh. Name a fighter. Name a fighter that could be a game changer for the company.
Star potential. He said star potential.
Ooh. I can't really say that they have one right now. I don't, like if I was to steal someone only because I know that the bantamweight tournament's coming up, I'd steal Peter Yan. Like only because I know that Bellator is going to be doing a bantamweight tournament. I'm like,
You think he's talking about champions you could take, or just someone that's
just anybody?
He's talking about anybody.
I would say someone like a Sean O'Malley, if you're talking bantamweights. You know, he's got star potential
possibly,
because that's a guy that you could sit there and take. Yuri Prochaska out of the light heavyweights, that would be a guy that you could take. You know, and have that.
But who's a guy we could take that would change people's perspective on what Bellator is? Like if you were to take someone from the UFC, I know they've got stars. No way am I trying to knock them. They have stars. Okay, but like not one of them can be moved to another organization and change the game.
No.
Not one. If I was to say any of them, it would probably just be Izzy. Because he's got the dance, he's got the swagger, he fights, you know, he has a style of which people can get behind and support. Other than that, I don't know. You know what, John? I think I just saw right here. Rose Namajunas. Star power, like she's a stud. I can't think of anyone else. I'd go Rose. I'd go Izzy. Those are probably the only two that I could see ever, like, not just coming to Bellator, go to any organization and being able to change the outlook of what it is or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Maybe Max
Holloway.
Yeah. He's just, you know, Hawaiians, man. They've always got followers. You know, you look at Alimale McFarland when we went to Hawaii. The arena was popping, man. Just insane. Like the whole week the buzz was all about it. Max has that BJ Penn type feel to him, you know. It's like they all just have that feel. Like the Hawaiians love him, support him. All the island people love him and support him, you know. All the people from Guam, all the people from Hawaii, all the people from other islands, they all support them. They love them. So I mean, maybe possibly, like I'd say, like Max, Izzy. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else, just to be honest.
Next question comes from Sensei, who asks, question for Big John. Is it legal to tickle someone to try to escape a submission / being mounted? Related question for Josh. What would you do if your opponent tickled you in the middle of a fight?
I do it all the time in the gym.
As simple as it gets. If you're in the middle of a fight, if you think tickling works, you're not too bright. Because as you're trying to tickle someone, they're punching you or elbowing you in the face. Okay? Yes, you could try to tickle someone. It won't work. It's the dumbest thing. I've heard it for years. Could you tickle the guy? Yeah. It's going to work for you. Do it. Trust me.
John.
It's great technique.
It works. You want to know why it works? No, let me tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, it works. You just have to say the words. Tickle, 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 tickle.
Hold it. Thank you. I didn't know that until now.
Yes.
See, I just learned something from you.
I'm telling you. The funniest thing is, John,
tickle,
honestly,
tickle, tickle.
in the gym, tickle, 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 tickle. No. Honestly, guys in the gym, I would tickle them and they wouldn't affect them. As soon as I started saying tickle, tickle, they let go. They was like, oh my God. They realized what you were doing and they're like, oh shit, he's tickling me. It's the dumbest thing. But
I'm going to do that in Wimp to Warrior.
It
worked in the gym. It worked in the gym.
I'm doing
it. It doesn't work if you're fighting. Stupid thing.
What happens? Yeah, you don't want to waste your time trying to tickle someone. Because the people in the gym, you know them, you train with them, you know they're ticklish. Which ones are? So what if the guy you're fighting is not ticklish? Like, then you're really screwed.
Then all you gotta say is tickle, tickle, tickle,
tickle, tickle, tickle, tickle. All right. Man. What would I do if I got tickled? I mean, it depends. If he didn't say tickle, 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 I probably wouldn't realize it. So I just. That was the greatest question, by the way. I love it.
All right, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this name, but you'll know it's your question because you asked it. Yeah. How did you score Nate Diaz versus McGregor 2? I still see arguments about the scoring till this day.
I thought the judges got it right. Like, it was close, but if you're taking a look there, and I got to go back and watch it to come up with the round for round. But obviously, Conor knocked him on his butt in the first and second round, I think. And he wins those. I think Nate wins the third, and I think he wins the fourth. And I think it was that Conor got the fifth. I don't remember, but I remember I had it. As I was in the cage watching it, I had Conor just a little bit ahead, and I would have thought it would have been 48-47 for Conor, and I think that's what it ended up as.
Maybe what we'll need to do is go back and watch it and do a reaction video for the
No.
channel.
I'm not going to go back and watch it. I watched it. I watched it live. That was enough for me. I'm just kidding.
I'll make him watch it.
We'll make him watch it.
Next.
All right, last question is from Celtic Glasgow, who asks, Celtic or Rangers?
Celtic or Rangers? Are we talking about hockey and basketball?
No, I threw this one in because I know what it means, but I know you guys wouldn't.
Yeah, I was like hockey and basketball, or hockey.
I was like, well, that one's a basketball team and one's a hockey team. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I knew.
So I have no idea.
Rangers is a baseball team, also the Rangers, right?
I have no idea who Celtic Glasgow is, and I'm a Rangers fan, but it's the two soccer teams / football teams from my hometown.
Got it. Okay. And you're a
I'm
Rangers
a Rangers
fan?
guy. I'm a Rangers guy. Yes.
Okay, I'll go with the Celtics.
All right, does that wrap us up there, Dave?
That wraps us up.
All right, guys. Well, hey, make sure you guys hit the link down below. Go to our short. What are we calling it now?
Weighing in extra.
Weighing in extra. Go to our weighing in extra channel because
you
that
blew that, didn't you?
Yeah,
just blew it.
I don't know
I
what
couldn't
it's
even
called.
say it right. What is wrong with you?
It's called the weight. I was like, what is it called? The extras? What's the extra? The reason why we call it the weighing in extras, because the weighing in extra channel or whatever, is because we're gonna be doing some more content
it's
during the
extra.
holidays. Because it's extra. It's not just clips. We're gonna have more. We have an extra show on there already for you called Weighing in Rejection, which we're about to film right now. And when we get done with that, you guys will be able to see that by probably Wednesday morning. But you're going to have to hit the notification bell to find out what time it drops. So in that clips channel, that extra channel, there you go. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And hit the subscribe button in our regular channel. And as well as all of our audio platforms. We're available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify. Our main channels for that is iTunes and Spotify are the main ones that people listen to. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button there. We want to thank you guys so much. And John.
Last thing I want to say to Big Wood and Joanne Calderwood, now just Wood. Congratulations. I hope you guys have an incredible life together. And for everyone else out there, thanks for listening, and we will see you